Today is obviously one of the most difficult days in the history of the city and the country. The tragedy that we're all undergoing right now is something that we've had nightmares about, but probably thought wouldn't happen. My heart goes out to all of the innocent victims of this horrible and vicious act of terrorism, acts of terrorism. And our focus now has to be on saving as many lives as possible and to send a message that the city of New York and the United States of America is much stronger than any group of barbaric terrorists, that our democracy, that our rule of law, that our strength and our willingness to defend ourselves will ultimately prevail.
The people of New York are not only the freest and most diverse people in the world, we're also, I believe, the most capable of rising to meet the challenges of this type of attack. And right now we want New Yorkers to remain calm, to go about their business, to appreciate the fact that everything to provide for their safety is being done, to appreciate that everything that can be done to provide for the health and the needs of the people who are still at risk is being done, and that we will continue to work to make sure that we get through this as strongly and quickly as possible.
At the moment, what was needed was blood. The city already had a shortage, and now the need was critical. Within an hour, New Yorkers lined up down city blocks to donate.
I'm here just to donate some blood because I feel I'm doing something.
Frustrated Americans, angry, wanting to do something.
I think everyone in these lines feels citywide there's a great camaraderie and brotherhood in the city, and everyone's doing what they can What's going through your mind right now?
They're accomplishing their goal. We are almost terrified.
It's scary. It's scary, and it's just that we are so unprepared for this.
As SWAT
the state is feeling vulnerable. Fearing the nation's second largest city might also be a target, workers fled downtown high-rises, leaving the heart of Los Angeles a ghost town. City government, law enforcement, indeed the entire city was on high alert.
We believe that whatever could have happened in New York could very likely happen here.
The entire West was on alert. The Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco, even Seattle's Space Needle closed down, leaving tourists stuck.
This is not a battle between the United States of America and terrorism, but between the free and democratic world and terrorism.
Palestinian Authority President Yasser Arafat condemned the attacks.
First of all, I am offering my condolences, the condolences of the Palestinian people to the American President, President Bush, to his government, to the American people for this terrible act.
And yet new bellows of the horrible smoke and the stench from the smoke began to fill lower Manhattan all anew.
Clear shot, please.
And since the most recent collapse, which happened just a short while ago, Building 7, a 47-story building as part of the World Trade Center complex, collapsed. That building had been, we were told, completely evacuated. But the fate of people on the ground, including rescue workers, as it came tumbling down, we simply don't know. But it had been threatening to collapse, had been on the verge of collapse for a long while, so perhaps most of the area had been evacuated, but who could have anticipated this kind of incredibly dense and fast-moving smoke, which covers many blocks?
And was going to collapse. That appears to be what has happened now. I don't know exactly how many stories the building is, Dan, but standing at the base of it, watching it burn about an hour ago, it looked to be something on the order of 50, 60 stories, as you said, a very, very large office building. And I don't know whether they were able to evacuate all of the...
In a news conference in which one of the leaders of the fire department union and a fire department official, sorts at least, indicated that there are 300 New York City firemen missing.
By nightfall, the mayor of New York City made his way to the scene to assess the damage and boost morale. Heavy hitters and heavy equipment have been hauled in to help. Where the Twin Towers used to be, a slow, confusing search for life is underway.
They're going to be working all night on the rubble. trying to find body recovery, trying to find people that are still alive underneath everything.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended. I want to reassure the American people that the full resources of the federal government are working to assist local authorities to save lives and to help the victims of these attacks. Make no mistake, the United States will hunt down and punish those responsible for these cowardly acts. Good evening. Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack in a series of deliberate and deadly